So again, I think there's been a lot of conversation around this issue, different bills that are moving through legislatures across the country. And for years, I've worked to defend Title IX and equal opportunities for women. I think that we need to continue to do that, but do it in a smart, strategic way that ensures that we don't cut off opportunities for women, that we actually keep them open and help them be more successful in all the policies that the NCAA, the NAIA, and all other leagues and associations have and embrace far into the future. So with that, I will open it up to any questions that you may have. Yes?
Governor, this has been so far non-existent problem in South Dakota. Why is this a priority for you?
Well, it is a very existent issue in South Dakota because a lot of people are talking about it and concerned about it. And they see the trends that are happening across the country. And that we could, in the near future, have a situation where we are dealing with it on a daily basis in South Dakota. So what I propose to the legislature, hopefully they will consider that they will protect women's sports in the K-12 system, and that we'll continue to build this coalition so we can protect them at the collegiate level as well. Yes?
Jacob Osman with Dakota News Now. So between the tweet of you saying you want to sign this bill, and you will sign this bill, to you eventually not signing the bill, is that simply because what you're stating today is the NCAA and the fear that they will take the Summit League and others out of South Dakota?
I'm still excited to sign the bill. Nothing's changed. But looking at the bill, after it came to my desk with my general counsel and other legal scholars and looking at it, which we do with every piece of legislation that reaches my desk, we saw some of the things that needed to be corrected with it and can do that through a style and form revision. Some of those portions of the bill that we need to fix are those that create a trial lawyer's dream. There are incredible opportunities for lawsuits and litigation in this bill that don't need to be there. There's reporting requirements for families that tens of thousands of families would have to comply with each and every year that would be an administrative burden on those families and on the schools. So those revisions would be incredibly helpful to make sure that we have integrity in the program and that we're able to protect women's sports here in South Dakota.
Governor Noem, the verbiage didn't stop at birth certificate. You added affidavit, which means a young woman, transgender, could go and plead before the court to have the birth certificate change the gender. Why was that added?
What I'm proposing is that they be able to use the birth certificate at the time of birth and a legal document that would state what the birth certificate says at the time of birth. What the current bill says that was put on my desk is that every year that parent and family would have to prove that that boy was a boy and that that girl was a girl. They also would have to state that they are free from any kind of performance-enhancing drugs, yet there's no definition for performance-enhancing drugs in this legislation, which leaves it open to all different kinds of interpretation. It could be hormones, it could be steroids, it could be your multivitamin. It's not defined, therefore the litigation aspects of this bill are far-reaching and could bring big consequences onto families and our school districts.
Governor?
Yes.
Some lawmakers have charged that using a style and form veto in this way, it does not conform to the Constitution. What would you say to that? Is this overstepping the role of your office?
The Constitution says specifically that a style and form revision is whatever the legislature says it is. So if they choose to accept the style and form revision, it is appropriate and it is the right thing to do. It's up to their definition of what they choose to accept.
Defend Title IX now. Does the state of South Dakota standing this up, and do you have support from other governors in other states yet? Who's signed this so far?
It's a coalition of people that will be athletes, professional athletes like the ones you've heard from today, but more beyond that, collegiate and high school. I'd invite everybody to go to the website, sign up to be a part of this coalition, share it with all your social media platforms because we want more people to be involved. There are also other leaders. I'll be asking other governors to stand up and to support me in this coalition and building this agreement on defending Title IX, and also attorney generals. I think it's incredibly important we get attorney generals involved as well. So I've spoken with many governors already. We've got a couple of them that have said that they're supportive and will be a part of the coalition, and I'm glad for that.
Governor, so you mentioned striking the collegiate ban from the bill based on litigation. So as recently as last year, in the Bostock decision, it was ruled that based on Title VII, that discrimination against transgender people is still based on sex. What makes you think that bill or the law that you proposed would not be struck down by the court?
What makes me think that it would not be struck down by the court?
Based on that Title
Because
VII.
I'm making decisions on the K-12 system that I have full authority over here in the state of South Dakota, enacting within, our state boundaries to enact policies going forward. So that's why if this statute was signed into law, that would be appropriate. If we're going beyond that to the collegiate level, we could do that. Just know that we could face retaliation. It's more than likely. And then at that point in time, we would have to sue, which would be a cost to the taxpayers, which, based on advice from legal scholars across the country and constitutional and conservative scholars, they believe that our chances of winning that type of litigation would be small.
Can you share with us the respected legal scholars who are advising you?
We will be announcing them soon, but there have been many.